So we can start at any time. Oh, here we are. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Yo.
Hey. Hey.
Hi.
This is Brett Neely's Scorpio Petrio.
No, it's not.
Yes,
this is not world peace.
This is episode 24 of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I'm Space Ghost.
Our
With me are
tonight.
Moltar. ckohler, you're Moltar.
Oh. Hey, Space Ghost, I'm Moltar.
We have Reggie Ruler, who is, I guess, the Mantis guy.
Hi.
And new to the podcast, we have B-Boy20. Or was it
God. Brack, they saved my life.
What was that?
I attempted a failure of voicing Brack.
Oh, Brack. You had to pick that guy? That's hard.
I was just going to say Death Ghost.
Well, I could have been like Whiskey Shark and just remained silent. Or explode.
B-Boy appears in this Google Hangout as whatever. Literally.
Kohler would be like putting that fancy editing anyways.
Not a problem. We'll fix it.
And he will show up, it will say whatever under your avatar. And I will get Seda to change your username, because that's a thing that they can do.
Okay.
Remember that one thread with like the guy who was like, how can someone be bullied on the internet? And it's like, here you go. Your name is now Pathetic Basement Virgin.
I thought you were going to talk about Faint Cult, where the guy kept changing his name back to Butt Smasher. You remember that thread?
No, but that sounds awesome.
Or that one guy, remember when Time Dog was like, Time Dog?
Everybody kept bumping his threads. Even I bumped one of his threads too.
It like broke the layout.
Time Dog! That was Chips in the chair, I think. Okay! This is gonna be an episode.
Go!
Let's go! Is there any news? I don't think there's any news.
Well, let's ask Brady. I don't think there's any news. Anybody else? I mean, other than I guess Moltar's voice actor passed away, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, that sucks. Someone do Moltar.
I can't. I haven't seen enough of it to do a proper Moltar.
Yeah. Just sounds kind of like a big guy. I don't know how to do it.
Reruns suck. There you go. That's Moltar. I could do Moltar.
I will say that, like, nothing against Moltar, but like every time they have those Toonami conferences, and they're always like, "Why isn't Moltar on there on Toonami?" And I'm like, "Come on, we're past that now."
Man, why don't you show Cartoon Roulette? Remember when the lineup was like The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest and 5 consecutive episodes of Cartoon Roulette, followed by Super Friends?
Yeah, nobody wants that.
That was the best Toonami lineup. Go back to that.
In other news, Death Note is going to have blood and nudity.
Oh yeah. They were
Wait,
like,
what's this about?
Netflix is making their own Death Note movie, right?
We've talked about it before on the show.
Oh yeah, are you talking about the live action one or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, worry not. Death Note will have sex and violence and cursing. Oh boy.
So that was just like them, like, we know what you want. You want cursing.
Yeah.
It's like the supreme edgelords of of GameFAQs coming out to make a Death Note movie.
I'll take a motherfucking potato chip, and then I'll fuck the bag. And then I'll eat it.
I got myself into.
This has been a Netflix original series. Death Note.
Was any of that like in the manga?
No, he didn't actually. He didn't. No.
No,
I
not
think he
that.
did.
Just like general, like adult, super adult content.
Yeah, is it like edgy or?
Pretty dramatic series.
I don't recall much of being that R at all in the anime,
I mean,
other than sometimes dramatic blood splatter,
I mean-
but otherwise.
you can make some pretty gruesome deaths with the Death Note that aren't too out of the realm of possibility. So, violence I could see, depending on how they go with it, but I'm not sure about the other two.
I once went over to the Death Note wiki, and there were like 86 rules for the Death Note. And it's like
86
boy,
rules that you have to abide by in order
Like-
to use that book.
No, like 86. This is how the Death Note works. Like 86. It's like if this, but if then if this, but then if this, and it's like what the fuck? Was Death Note like a 50 episode series or whatever?
It's kind of close to that.
And then
I guess
like,
I could see. I guess I could see that show coming to Toonami. I mean, I don't know much about it, but it seems like it could play on Toonami.
The show
could
is
have.
old.
it
What's
could
that?
have.
It's too old to put on Toonami now.
And I don't recall it being an action show.
Okay.
It's all psychological, really.
Well, I guess is it more or less actiony than, let's say, Parasyte?
Less.
Parasyte has more.
Okay.
Like, despite having a death gods and whatever, like they don't really actually do much.
Is ReZero more or less actiony than Parasyte?
I'd say ReZero is a bit more actiony than Parasyte.
We may actually get it then sometime.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was on board with that until I saw where it ended, where it was smack dab in the middle of what feels like the middle of an arc. So
Like
that
they
kinda-
end like 30 seconds before someone says a wham line in the book.
Yeah, and it's obvious that there's the majority of the plot threads aren't resolved, and they've intentionally laid out plot threads that are future references that aren't able to be resolved without another season.
The good old go read the light novel ending.
That just pisses me off so much.
We've been fortunate to almost completely avoid the go read the light novel ending on Toonami so far. I mean, even Akame Ga Kill ended up actually like ending in the exact same way the manga is ending up.
I think One Punch Man is actually kind of like that, except it's still, it's actually more so it just doesn't have enough material.
Right. But,
Because where One Punch Man ends, there's still a few plot threads.
definitely.
Oh yeah, I definitely felt like that they just were like at the end of an arc and ready to start the next one.
But Murata's just kind of dicking around and drawing shit, I guess. Guess it's time to move on to the actual block. So, let's move on to Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Featuring actual Dragon Balls.
That part's getting cut out. Dragon Ball Z Kai, episode 86, A New Guardian, The Return of the Dragon Balls. Now, B-Boy. Now. What was that? You said something, or was that Reggie Wheeler?
It was Reggie Ruler. That's okay.
Record scratch here. Now let's actually talk about Dragon Ball Z Kai episode 86. A New Guardian, the return of the Dragon Balls. I can't do this tonight.
I thought it was a pretty funny episode. Like, I mean, I didn't want to say like super funny, but it definitely was trying to be comedic throughout the whole episode.
I mean, Goku just instant transmitting across the universe is just inherently funny, so. Somebody brought it. Yeah, somebody mentioned it. Why the fuck does King Kai have a car and a driveway?
Oh, that was me. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a joke, but like, where does he go? Does he drive around his planet just to come back to his garage again?
Time to get in the car and go for a 5-second drive across the planet.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was the inspiration for Super Mario Galaxy.
Maybe Miyamoto was watching DBZ.
I'm going to say yes. It is. That is exactly the inspiration. Was there ever, including that one planet in Super Mario Galaxy with a space pirate trapped inside? Remember, that's a thing that happens in a movie. Good old BoJack. But no, not a whole lot happened this episode.
Well, I guess I'll talk about some stuff. So, we get Dende. He comes back to Earth to be now the new whatever they're called, Guardian, and it's just like I don't even understand how or why he can just do this. He can just make Dragon Balls now, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the way they were trying to pull out the way that Goku was kind of just winging it when he ended up on Namek, I thought they were going to pull the I can't actually do it without proper preparation or something like that. And then they kind of hand waved it and just had them use the original Dragon Balls, which was whatever.
Yeah.
B-Boy, any thoughts?
It was nice to see Dende again.
Yep.
Little Green!
Little Green. Why does he have that nickname? I don't remember that.
It's Team 4-Star.
Oh, okay.
Krillin and Team 4-Star, they kind of play with relationship. Like, Krillin just shows up and he's like, your name is Little Green now. And he's like, my name is Dende. Sure, Little Green.
Okay.
And then in the show he hates Krillin and wants him to die, but he actually does like Gohan. So I kind of can't wait to see what they do with that. Because in the actual show he's like, yeah, Krillin. I can't wait to see Krillin again.
The only other thing of note I remember from this episode is that Hail Satan, Macho Man Randy Savage is here.
He's more like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, maybe.
Knowing nothing coming into this arc, I had a completely different image in my head when I saw the name Mr. Satan. So this was actually a bit of a surprise.
Oh, go ahead.
Even knowing that I believe there are actual devils in the Dragon Ball universe, so that actually surprised me a little bit.
Like Goku fell off Snake Way and into hell.
Yeah.
And then there were those two muscular guys.
So was Mr. Satan or whatever he's called, is this his first time in Dragon Ball Z Kai or Dragon Ball Z at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Because somebody was saying like, well, why isn't he calling him Hercule?
Because back when it was on like Nick or Cartoon Network, they didn't want to have a good character named Mr. Satan.
Okay, so the Mr. Satan name's the real name.
Yes.
Seems neutral at best. I wouldn't call him good.
I mean, if there's anything Blue Exorcist should have learned, it's that good guy Satan is still one of the stupidest things ever to happen.
They actually doubled back on that too.
That was so funny.
By the way, how do you think they're going to handle the second season of Blue Exorcist? Just kind of ignore all the filler and be like,
Retcon.
that was a dream.
You know, I think I actually read that. Don't hold me to it, but I thought I read that that's exactly what they're going to do.
Like, just ignore everything that wasn't canon.
Yeah.
Good.
Actually,
Okay, that's the way to do it.
No, for what it's worth, I'd actually prefer that they kept the brother having the demon powers, because I think that'd be a little interesting for them to work with. But I think that's too big of a differentiation from the manga.
Well, just as long as Eyebrows Girls come back, that's all I care about.
Oh yeah, eyebrows.
So it's gonna be more like Brotherhood, just like try to be close to the manga and just, I don't know, retcon, or just a much more faithful interpretation of the manga.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but because I think it's still like a sequel. So, but maybe more faithful.
So Mr. Popo just had like this, full-scale model, perfect, completely accurate model of Shenron just ready to go. Because reasons.
Mr. Popo needs no reasons. Pecking order.
Yeah. Pecking order.
Enjoy the climb back up.
Bitch! Oh. Like that one part.
Oh, go ahead.
Like that one part where Shenron comes out and Mr. Popo's there and he's like, oh shit! Hi, Master. Like Mr. Popo is like the boss of the dragon.
Yeah.
I liked how Cell was just standing around and bored, waiting for stuff to happen.
He's just like, God fucking damn it! Somebody do something. Like he actually said, like maybe 10 days was too much time.
Yeah.
And like that's a Team 4-star line, right?
I feel like every time they cut to the area, it seems to get a little more detailed each time.
You mean like animation-wise?
Well, no, like Cell seems to be adding more details to the little arena. Like, like you can notice at one point, you can notice that there are little pillars now on the arena on each corner, which weren't there in the original creation, I don't think.
Okay. Well, somebody said that it just gets obliterated like almost immediately, so it's kind of funny.
Man, I wonder if this filler would look better with, Corinthian or iambic columns.
I wonder whose DNA he gets all the stone cutting skills from.
Vegeta. Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, so Dende is now the Guardian for some reason, and Mr. Satan punched a car. There you go. That was Dragon Ball Z Kai. So let's move on to One Punch Man. One Punch Man, Episode 9, Unyielding Justice. Okay, B-Boy, go!
Robbie Damon did it. Like, I was convinced he was Moomin Rider. And that was hoping he was able to pull off.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love this episode, and yeah, I like the American Moomin Rider voice the best.
It really especially works when he shows up at the food cart.
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm just a dude.
I loved hearing Justice Crash in English. That was awesome.
I mean, of course he got... Well, the first part of the episode was just the animator showing off how much they can animate again.
Yeah. Genos does job a lot, but every time he does, it's awesome to watch.
Machine gun blows!
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
He does it with one arm, too.
His only flaw was actually being a good hero.
It was pretty gruesome when he saved that little girl. Like, all melted his whole body away.
It's like, geez, imagine if he didn't.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. And then, of course, Saitama shows up finally, and it's amazing. Like they're just. Go ahead.
And then there's NeoGAF Man.
Oh, the best part of the episode.
Maybe the worst part of the episode.
Well, it was the best and the funniest in that we were just cracking up at NeoGAF Man. Oh, man.
Thank God Gaffman was there to put that stupid pretender in his place, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Somebody in the thread was saying he's the Tampa of One Punch Man.
That's entirely accurate.
But no, seriously, that punch was really good.
Oh, man. Totally stopped the rain.
Like the storm just stops. Oh my God. One Punch Man episode review. He punched that guy.
Yeah. It was
And
just...
it was epic.
Yeah.
He punched that guy good. Like they captured it on video, and it's like 3 frames.
Oh yeah, I remember that, and they like rewatched it, and that's the one thing about this show. I mean, I know it's a comedy mostly and all this other stuff, but the thing that bugs me is how even the people at the Hero Association can watch this replay and be like, "Oh, maybe he really didn't do it," and we're like, "What? Come on!"
I mean, his power in a world where being a superhero is like down to this exact ranking science with popularity and all that. The fact his power is, well, he's the most powerful character in all of fiction because his entire gag is that he always wins in one punch.
Right, but the fact that these people who live in a world with superheroes can't see it is so stupid. Because and I guess Moomin Rider is better than he is, and it's like, how could you not see that Moomin Rider doesn't have Saitama's power? He doesn't have the power of heart, but he doesn't have physical strength.
Those rankings are still popularity based partly, so.
That's true.
And unfortunately, ironically, if Genos had showed up and had a long, drawn-out battle with a bunch of, maybe some innocent people get killed, but he wins in the end, he might have got more popularity.
Yeah. Oh, that was really nice at the end of the episode when Saitama basically lies and said he cheated so that all the other heroes get the props. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. But then the papers just drag him anyway.
Yeah, he wouldn't have had to do that if it wasn't for Gaff Man, though.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he's just, that guy's I loved, everybody in that thread was just like, fuck that guy, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Then he gets the hate letter and he's like, there's a guy with free time. Yep, that guy has way too much free time on his hands. But it was nice to see him get the actual genuine letter.
Oh, and I didn't know this until I watched it the second time. That letter was from Moomin Rider.
Really?
At the little, when they have their little meal at the end, he's like, I wrote you that letter.
Yeah, they said that in the Japanese version. I'm surprised you didn't catch that.
I think I must have missed it. Maybe I missed that line or something when I was watching it the first time. But yeah, I didn't notice that. He was the one who thanked him. Again, proving that Moomin Rider is awesome.
Yes, this should just be the Moomin Rider show.
Yeah, I seem to notice that there was a lot more of him in the anime than there was in the manga, if I recall. I think
Interesting.
It's like I think their TV writers kind of knew that. They make his moment of truth have gained a lot more impact. They basically have the viewer spend much more time with them.
Mm-hmm. Well, it worked because I thought this was like I said last week, this is my favorite episode, and it's because of Moomin Rider. He's just such a likable character. And the way that Saitama comes in and saves him at the last second by grabbing him, and he says, you did good, man. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would say he's grown on me a lot more with the English version. I was not a super big fan of Moomin Rider in the Japanese original. I think he's a lot better with the English voice actor.
I was thinking for a second, and then I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh,
so
I want to say one thing. I want to also just say I want to thank Raxus for posting those eye catches in the thread every week because I like them, and I just wish Toonami would learn that it's worth spending an extra 10 seconds on all these shows to show their eye catches because they're so cool sometimes.
I can guarantee you that it is not. As like when they sit down, it's like, well, it would cost us about a few $1,000s in ad money.
Yeah. But then they show music videos that go on for 5 minutes that are stupid.
That's because Naruto Shippuden is a short. It doesn't fill up as much time because the opening is completely cut.
Yeah, I guess
Which
I
I'm
can't
still
have
mad about.
What's that?
Which I'm still kind of mad about.
Oh yeah.
Because was that a Twitter poll like 3 years ago? Still
Back
feeling
in
it.
2013, or 2014, I get. Fuck, what it was? It had to be 2014 because it was the year Space. It was it had Space Dandy and Shippuden start at the same time, so had to be 2014.
Well, what did they say on Twitter?
It was like, should we? Well, it was originally, should we just show cut openings for Naruto Shippuden or have the Toonami openings, I am the Prince of All Saiyans once again. And everyone voted for the Toonami openings because we thought we'd get I am the Prince of All Saiyans once again, but we didn't. We got,
Yeah, that was a mistake. Because I tell you, if there's, go ahead, B boy.
Oh, I'm just placing something. Go on.
Okay. I was. That's one thing that's good about Shippuden are the openings. I mean, I've seen a couple now, and they're pretty good.
There's really only 4 or 5 that I really like.
Still, that's better than I'd rather see that every week, and then tune out of the episode. You know. Although I guess we'll get to it. This week wasn't bad, so we'll get to that though.
It was fine.
Yeah.
But before that, we have to get through Gundam Bill. That was a Freudian slip. Man, how I really wish this was Gundam Build Fighters instead. No. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans, Episode 14, Vessel of Hope. So, first off, we got a new OP. And, don't kill me, I think I like it a little better than Razor Flag.
I liked it. I mean, I don't know if I think I will miss raising my flag, but I do like that opening.
Anyone else have an opinion on the opening?
Kind of indifferent.
It was definitely more anime-ish. I didn't like the actual animation for it. Like the choices of what they displayed to accompany the music was kind of bad, but the music itself was fine.
Yeah, I've got it on my iPod.
Wow, you are a fan.
I mean, it's so easy to put shit on your iPod nowadays.
Yeah.
You just rip it off of YouTube. You copy and paste a link.
Yeah. I thought it was a good opening. I mean, I was prepared to hate it because Raise My Flag is so memorable, but yeah, it was good.
Unfortunately, the new ending is just kind of like, hey, it's an anime ending. I can't remember how it goes at all.
Same.
Yeah, I can't. That was my comment. I wrote it down. It's it's forgettable. I don't even remember what it was.
It's straight through one ear and out the other. Someone's got a fan.
That might actually be mine.
Yeah, I hear it too.
It sounds like it stopped.
Okay. Anyway, so in this episode, they go shopping.
They go to Space Walmart.
Half of them go shopping, and the other half kind of stand in a corridor.
It's a trap.
And it's an obvious trap.
Well, actually, they didn't just go to Space Walmart. They went to Dort.
Dort.
Why?
Who comes up with these names?
I know. Like, what? Does you think that sounds interesting in Japanese? Because that sounds dumb.
All I could think of was just Swedish Chef being like, bork, 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 bork. He's just like, Dort, 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 Dort. As they visit Space IKEA.
I could just call it Space Costco.
Space Costco, that works.
You know, this love plot is actually kind of getting on my nerves a little bit.
The which plot?
The love plot.
Oh gosh, yeah.
The love triangle.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even a triangle anymore. It's just, I guess. I mean, I'll tell you what bugs me about it is Kudelia. Like, okay, here's my thing, and it's not just Kudelia; it's all these characters. How socially stunted are them that A, they don't know what a bath is, and B, that she thinks that kissing someone means they have to get married.
Okay, first off, Mars is rough, and there's little water on Mars.
But they're all just sort of like dumb about normal things.
Yeah. It's like we had a question about like law and order. Like, what? Like, you don't even just know that too? Like, you can't just kill whoever you want. Like, what is that supposed to be given for even for these war-torn orphans? Like, what?
Yeah.
But I'm an anime character. I can kill whoever I want.
It's like the distant future, but everybody got kind of dumb.
It's like more as a sophisticated version of idiocracy.
Yeah.
A bit harder to tell.
So Fumitan's just sitting in a room being like, I wonder if being a traitor makes me a bad person. Because that's definitely what I am.
That was so telegraphed that shit was going to happen. Like, I thought maybe they might do some twist on it.
Like, you would have to show her more than when she gets a pendant and then just stares at it and just puts it on the couch and just puts it on like the console and then she's never seen again. And it's like, boy, I wonder what the purpose of that scene was.
Yeah, and then like she'll even in scenes with the people she's going to portray, it shows her in the background kind of going like, oh, and looking down and stuff. It's like, how does no one notice?
Because everyone in the show is stupid.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for it to get better. But somebody said we have like another couple episodes of this goof.
Like, this is another 3-episode arc that's bad.
Okay.
So, yay! And so, Biscuit has a brother who works in space cubicles.
Apparently somebody pointed out his brother's name is named after a cake.
I'll give you credit, it was less. No wonder he got the job because it's not as immediately obvious that it's named after a food.
Is this like future space racism? Instead of black names, it's like, if your name sounds like a pastry, then we don't even look at it.
Oh, shit. Oh.
But it's still a pastry, but it's vague enough that he got away with it.
Severin. Yeah, that sounds like a space name.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this another mysterious brother out of nowhere to be a salary man.
Yeah, they pulled a mysterious brother out of nowhere twice in a row. It's like, you can't do that.
I like how once he mentioned he was with Tekkaden, the brother distinctly looked like he did not want to be having this conversation.
Oh yeah, let me pencil you in for 20,000 years from now, and I'll get back to you later. So, meanwhile, Orga and dumbasses are standing in the corridor, and then this guy is like, "Oh man, you guys are the revolution!" And he's like, "What?" And then, the guy is trying to explain to him a bunch of stuff they should already know. Like, I think he literally pulls the, "as you should know."
Yeah.
and it takes like 60 seconds for the Gallhorn to run in. It's like 0 to trap in 5 seconds.
You know, they're so the performance for those workers was so terrible. I couldn't tell if it was a bad attempt at a faking, or they were just legitimately awful.
I think I know what you're talking about, because they basically are they seem like they're too cool about everything, but I think they're just naive or just sort of like generic enough that that's what you're supposed to believe, that they're just that way.
Then it's like, oh my god, we're delivering guns! Despite the fact that we've killed multiple children, this is somehow a problem.
Well, to be fair, they could be. That could be tagged on them.
Yeah.
In the fact that apparently they were just basically got used without their discretion or knowledge.
Yeah, I think that's the part that bugged them more than anything.
So how did that? I guess how that came along was like big rich Mars guy who was like the supporter of Mars independence, but wants Cadelia to die because I don't know, decides to use Tewaz to deliver some guns to the colony so they can have a revolution, which can be put down. And
No, I thought he wasn't on the side of the revolution.
like, I think that's the thing, is that there are people on the side of the revolution, but their thing is they don't want Cadelia to go have the meeting. They think she could serve them better by dying as a martyr. And so they're actively trying to set it up so that she gets martyred.
Oh wait, I thought they just didn't want the revolution to happen in the first place, and they're trying to stop it on the inside.
Well, I mean, since the specific plan was for her to die, here at the colony, it's like, why not just try to kill her in space again? But they want her to die at the colony because people would notice. Anyway. Naturally, it's the colonies or some Elysian bullshit where it's like, here's the super nice, awesome colony, and here's the one which is, sucks. Don't wander over to Dort 6, you guys.
Human debris takes on a whole new meaning.
I wonder which
Dort.
I wonder which Dort is the best Dort.
Man, working for Amazon in space sucks.
Hold on, let me Dort this.
I hope we hear more Dort.
I'm getting a new TV Dort livered. I'll shut up now.
Do you think there's
Okay.
2-week Dort livery in space?
Maybe.
I just can't get over the fact that, yep, we're going to start a revolution right here. And despite living in a reality where mechs exist, where they could just easily obliterate us with one mech unit. But we're not going to think about the logistics of or the positioning, what the hell we're going to do next.
That's what makes me think it's a setup.
I still can't get over that. It's like, it's the one who did the writers just did not. Well, obviously, they probably did not plan that far ahead. It's just like, it's somehow you just spark thinking like proclaiming your plans are going to be, is going to be like, convince the audience because like, yeah, we're going to hold our ground like the whole world matters in this little space Costco.
Well, the only thing that makes sense, well, I don't even want to say makes sense, but one of the things was that apparently along with the guns, they transported some of those they're not called mobile suits, but those like mobile workers. I'm assuming that means that they were going to use mobile workers to fight with. Does that make sense?
But like, how many people were in on it? Because there's a lot of colonies, and they're pretty big.
Oh, I don't know. I keep, every time they talk about the politics in this show, I just my eyes glaze over, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. but I try. But from what I took out of this episode was that they got all these guns, and now they're going to use these guns to, I guess, take over Dort and then move on, I guess. But I don't know.
I mean, how would you move on from Dort?
I don't think you can.
Unless they're going to treat it like it's the Alamo.
Maybe.
Once you go inside Space Costco, you never leave.
If the next episode doesn't make sense, then yeah, just throw this whole subplot in the trash fire.
Yeah, I watch it for like the funny moments right now. I'm waiting for it to get interesting again.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I really like. Well, at least it felt good watching it first, but now it's just like feel like trash, or space debris, human debris. God. Ugh.
Today's special at Space Costco is a 50% off human debris, everything must go sale. They're all nicely tied up in those little, like, bags from that flashback. Because it's in outer space. Everything must go. This is dark. Okay.
Space slavery is dark.
Actually, in this show, it's kind of silly. Anyway. It's time for Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter episode 20, Baffling Turn of Events. So, everything happened in flashback.
I liked it. I liked the format of this episode.
I do too.
Go ahead.
I photoshopped that sign of, I forgot what the leader's name was, like, I guess prepare for like responses, like, or indicate other viewers like, oh, this is stages of the fights. But I had a feeling that like some of those matches would have lasted much shorter, like within an episode, but having it all end in one, that threw me a curveball, and all my efforts.
You were prepared to were you gonna update it every week?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess now that's over with.
I mean, honestly, none of the fights. Killua versus his brother was the only one of note that needed to be shown really in full. Like, because otherwise, who gives a shit about Kurapika versus Pakal? Because we get to the end, it's like, oh man, either Pakal or Leorio is gonna fail.
Like, Pakal was the only character who actually gave up, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
He's gave in.
Well, he was up. Hisoka, just Hisoka. I mean.
Oh well, I guess Hisoka did because he wanted to, and then you're right. Kurapika or Killua, I'm sorry, did as well, out of fear, I guess. That I'll tell you, if there's one thing this show does really good, in my opinion, is it makes me like or care about these characters, because I really like all of the main cast, and I already loathe this Illumi guy. Like, he's awful.
At the end, Gon just kicks down the door, and then the noticeable part is he walks straight past Hisoka and doesn't even look at him. He's like, I don't have time for your shit right now, bro.
Yeah.
I like how they're all just sitting in a classroom. Like, this is a dysfunctional anime high school.
It's Hunter 101.
Death the Kid is off in the corner trying to write his name.
God, I love Soul Eater.
Still one of the funniest things ever on Toonami. That whole exam episode.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch Soul Eater someday.
Oh, you weren't watching it with us on Toonami?
I wasn't at the time.
Okay, man, I'll tell you what. I bought Soul Eater on Blu-ray. I can't recommend it enough. It's good. Although, it doesn't
possibly find a Blu-ray without the filler, or the non-canon stuff.
Yeah, the Gecko ending isn't good.
First half of the show.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like a good first 3/4 of the show.
It starts to like get fillery about 2/3 of the way, but it's still mixed with some canon, and then it has like a gecko ending that's not that good. But like up until then, it's really good.
Wasn't the manga ending not that great either, though?
I thought it was okay.
Well, Krona kind of got screwed, so fuck that ending.
Courage
Yeah.
is a contrast to insanity. Still not really sure about that.
I didn't like the whole boobs thing at the very, very end. Like that was just like they just suddenly decided to be funny, and it wasn't. That was the only thing that I didn't like about the manga ending. But it was okay.
But back to Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah.
So most of this episode is just Illumi just giving a complete, mind fuck to Killua. Like, yeah.
Do not like him. He's just I don't like these characters, and Hisoka's the same way. I know I'm not supposed to like him, but my problem is I can already tell this Illumi character is going to be around for like 50 episodes before he ever has his ass handed to him.
Oh, he never gets his ass handed to him.
Oh God! See, I hate
You
that.
had to actually say that.
I mean, spoilers. I don't believe in spoilers, but like this thing doesn't happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll beep that part. But
Okay, sure.
okay, I just don't like characters. Like I want to see the bad guys who are too smug to learn a lesson, and you can tell that this guy's going to be like over the top for a long time.
You're gonna love JoJo.
Really? Okay. I mean,
No,
I don't hate it. I don't hate it because I get it. Like I'm supposed to hate this guy, but it's just like I want to see him get, punched in the face or something.
Yeah, but Hunter x Hunter is not that show. He's just too strong for, I mean, outside of, I did love the fact that he was like, I could just kill everyone here, right? And Netro was like,
oh yeah, he's
Sure.
like, I guess if you want.
I mean, see how that works out for you. See how that works out.
I'd almost wish he did. That way Netro or whatever would have like put him down.
But no, he's got the creepy swirly eyes, and he looks like he's just completely bored with everything.
I noticed that. Was that like a touch that the anime added, or was the eye swirl part of the original?
I could not tell you.
Yeah, this is my first time I've ever seen it, so I don't know.
Because that actually reminded me a little bit of the Sharingan, now that I think about it.
I mean, are you really surprised?
No, not really. But I think, yeah.
So, Leorio is really fortunate that Killua got mind fucked into just killing a dude, because otherwise, man.
Yeah, he almost got Gon killed.
How? I forget.
Because he kept insisting that Hanzo just break his arm, I think. Or I'm mixing stuff up, I think.
Yeah, what happened was he goes. What happened was that Killua says, "I just want to be friends. I want Gon to be my friend." And then Leorio yells out, "Don't you know? Gon is your friend. He likes you. He is your friend." And then that's when that Illumi guy goes, "Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just kill your friend." And it was like, Leorio, you jerk! You shouldn't have said anything. Now Gon's gonna die. But then he just. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That was to help Killua more than really anything, like to have him snap out of it, sort of.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know he meant well, but it was like by saying that he almost got Gon killed, and then that Illumi guy was just like, "Oh wait, I can't do that. I'll get disqualified."
Yeah, Illumi, he was just like, "Oh, I can't do that, can I? I have to get this license, I guess."
I can't stand him. I don't like characters who are just like, Oh, I guess I'm gonna be in this and just defeat everybody. Blah.
Well, I guess I'm so strong that I'll kill everybody here, except if Netero gets in there, I'm going to be a pile of paste on the floor, but whatever.
I was gonna say he wasn't gonna actually do anything with Netero. He wasn't actually gonna be able to do anything with Netero there.
Surely he would be able to see, sense how strong Netero was and be like, yeah, I'm not going to fuck with that.
Well, even Hisoka thinks he can beat Netero. I mean, whether they can or not is another question, but I think they can, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or like Hisoka maybe just wants to try. Like, he doesn't care whether he succeeds or not. He's just like, I got to do this. And
Yeah, actually, I like Hisoka more now than I like this other guy. This other guy's just ugh.
Yep. But anyway, everyone has a hunter license now. It's a card.
Yeah. Show's not over yet, though.
Except for Killua and the one guy
Oh
that
my
died.
gosh, yeah. Well, show's not entirely over yet until he becomes a hunter, if ever.
I mean, I assume that'll be the plot now going forward is, let's get Killua his hunter's badge somehow.
Killua said he didn't even want it though.
Yeah, he just said that. He said he doesn't want it.
I'm not really completely familiar with how the plot goes forward from here, so, I mean, I'll see.
Everybody keeps saying that the show gets really good now, like that this was not the good arc, which is good because I thought this was good.
Same here. I've been very entertained so far, despite everyone saying like this is the worst of the show.
Yeah.
I think it was dragging on a bit ever since the second phase of the exam, but I think it's gotten pretty decent now, and I'm looking forward to where it goes.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it for Hunter x Hunter. So, let's move on to Naruto Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden, episode 127, Tales of a Gutsy Ninja, Jiraiya Ninja Scroll, part 1. Oh, jeez. Long titles. This is like 500,000% longer than usual Naruto Shippuden titles. Which are usually just like, art.
I'm just thinking of that.
Death of
You're right.
Naruto.
Or, I really want Sasuke's dick.
That'd be the Karen Chronicles.
That would be the Karen Chronicles and the Sakura Chronicles and the Naruto Chronicles. And maybe the Itachi, and definitely the Orochimaru Chronicles.
Speaking of Orochimaru, I am now even more convinced that Lord Voldemort is based off of him.
I mean, Lord Voldemort, I believe, definitely precedes him.
Oh, precedes him? Okay, well then it's one way or the other.
Or they are so similarly timed that there's no chance.
I guess, because now we're seeing. I never had seen young Orochimaru before, and so it's just like, I don't know. I couldn't believe he wasn't always evil.
Well, he clearly, the thing is, he looks like he was born evil.
Well, he definitely looks evil. I guess he wasn't they didn't know he was yet. That's why I'm saying he's like Voldemort. Like when Voldemort was a little kid, everybody could kind of tell, oh yeah, his kid's not right. I'm assuming Orochimaru was the same way, although he didn't really say much in this episode.
What I liked about this episode, that there have been prior flashbacks that show some of the same scenes. What I enjoyed that it did is that kind of sort of filled in some of the blanks between some of the prior flashbacks we've seen.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we've seen the "We Are at War" scene before. I think that kind of puts into perspective the time frame for Jiraiya's journey pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's nice to have a good Shippuden episode again. This is pretty good. I liked it overall. Jiraiya, of course, is just a fun character. This actually felt to me like old Naruto.
Like Jiraiya just, claps his hands together and then he's in the magical frog land. That's literally what happens.
Yeah. You know what, though? I thought this would be the big reveal of them going to another dimension, but it sounded like they were just at the top of a mountain or something.
Like, it's maybe both? I
No,
don't
I guess
remember.
that's true. It could be both, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, it is weird.
How does he get back?
Well, a better question is, how does he
He's
get
in-
back, and then how does he then return?
Ninja stuff.
Because it was an accident, right?
I mean, I don't know. Ninjas.
And
I'm
they
sure-
did gloss over that.
I'm sure there's a page on the Naruto wiki that can explain it.
Yeah, that like he like did it by accident, and then from that point on, he knew how.
Or like the
Maybe.
senile toad person sent it back.
Oh yeah.
Like, he goes there, and then instantly he's like, a giant snake! I'm gonna throw it! And then I thought it was a joke at first, but no, he just tosses this giant snake. And it's like, that seems strange. Right? Anybody?
My hair gives me super strength.
There really, there really wasn't much that happened in this episode, to be honest. It was just kind of him learning how to train with frogs, right?
Sure. Also, why'd you burn this village down? 'Cause let's
Destiny.
fight now.
There was a creepy puppet guy where you approached a baby and then it turned out to be a creepy as hell puppet.
Was that Sasori? I don't know.
That's what I
Sasori.
thought too.
I don't think it was Sasori.
Yeah.
But puppets are a very oddly specific skill in the Naruto-verse.
Yeah, I thought it might have been his dad or something.
No,
I think
that would be stupid.
puppetry is a little more widespread than that.
So you think it's just like something like giving life to puppet dolls is something more than one ninja has access to?
Yes, although I think that guy actually, that particular puppet guy may actually show up again, I think.
Oh, I think I know exactly what that is now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although in sort of a strange way.
No spoil. Yeah, I can't spoil that. It actually won't be very long, I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's covered in this arc.
But otherwise, that's kind of it for this episode. Right?
At least I'm still paying more attention to Naruto recently than just treating it as background noise.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, as opposed to being like, hey, I can half pay attention to it while finishing Ace 26, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this week just to see more of this interesting story for a change.
It's no longer the thing you have to get through to get to One Piece. Because we're moving on to One Piece.
For how long?
One Piece, episode 361. Perona is terrified. Usopp and Untruthful share the same view. This is a weird episode title, but the episode is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like, it actually feels like some kind of Scooby-Doo trap.
You don't say.
I mean, this literally is a Scooby-Doo, like this kind of is a Scooby-Doo arc.
Yeah, it's definitely got a mix of that in there. Yeah.
And so it kind of feels like Fred's in the background saying, like, well, she'll get hit by the goo,
Roach Star.
and then there'll be roaches, and then we'll hit her with an inflatable 10-ton balloon.
I liked how Perona bought, they just made her like she could believe that was actually happening. Like any sane person would have been like, that's not a real hammer. But she was into it. She's like, no, how can you even lift that thing?
Well, cockroaches, man.
Yeah, I guess she was scared out of her mind. This episode had a weird use of Sakuga where like it just looked really animated well, but then like everybody had like really off-model characters.
Yeah, and the little glimpse of the Robin and Chopper quote unquote fight.
Yeah, especially there, right? Lots of weird camera angles and stuff. I thought it looked cool when it was in motion, but every time you'd see a character's face, you're like, that doesn't look right.
It's like, okay, we really need to nail Penguin dog kicking Chopper. This is the critical moment of this episode. And Moria, meanwhile, has literally gone right back to sitting on his ass in the exact same spot. It's like, congratulations, you've achieved nothing. Like, he's literally been standing there for 15 episodes.
Yeah, well, things are going to change now that Oars is the contract to Moria is finally kicked in.
Yeah, that's bad.
That is bad.
That's not good.
But getting back to the Perona fight, though, and the Usopp fight, I liked how Usopp pulled out the impact dial again. That's so cool. I love that they keep calling back to that thing.
It's always there.
Yep.
It's like,
and Sunny Strait is just awesome as Usopp in this episode.
Yeah, he's an all-time great.
Oh man, this is maybe like the first anime ever. Like I legitimately wondered, how did this show not get nominated for Emmys?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show on TV.
Yeah. It is good enough, though.
You're not going to nominate the 4Kids dub for an Emmy. Unless it's like, worst show. But that's the Razzies. Also, I believe it has to be produced in the U.S. Or no.
Oh, probably.
No, it doesn't, because Downton Abbey.
Oh, never mind.
Anyway, so next week we get Zoro versus Ryuma, and the fight's already over.
Yeah.
I would say, though, that the cinematography for the Perona and Usopp fight was very on point. Like, using all this drama for all these crazy shenanigans. Well, technically are crazy shenanigans, yeah, they really, like, want to sell that this is what Perona feels. Right until, like, the twist.
I love it.
Like, Usopp really sold that hammer lift.
Yeah, that's I think I remember first time I saw this, I didn't realize that he was faking it, that he had faked the missing of the shot and everything. Like he was awesome.
I believe at even one point he like miscalled his attack.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, you now know that you're in a shonen manga.
Well, I won't say too much, but I will say that this isn't necessarily the last we've seen of Perona. So, good characters come back.
Nope, it's not. And that's good. Unfortunately, there's more Absalom, too.
Oh, God.
And more Lola.
Although Lola gets an upgrade, though, so.
Yes. But...
Is that really the end of Sniper King?
Yeah,
yep.
That is the last appearance of Sniper King.
Like, literally, like, I think the last mention of him.
No, because, Sniper King is still his wanted poster for quite a while.
That's true. It is his poster for a while, so. But nobody talks about him anymore.
Until something even more amazing happens, but that's a topic for 2026.
Yes. I've actually passed that now in the anime. So.
Oh man, it's so good.
So, B-Boy, you think of anything else interesting that happened this episode?
No.
Yeah. I kind of can't think of anything else either. I mean, it is strange how you suddenly see Zoro at the end just defeated, and you're like, what?
Oh yeah, the Swordman down.
Of course, we will see what that is all about next week, won't we?
That's the title.
It's a pretty good fight. So, Anyway, overall, I definitely think Usopp versus Perona is one of the best 3 fights this year.
Yeah, it was very entertaining.
I mean, it doesn't have a lot of competition, to be frank. Because, there's some short DBZ fights that are but, you forget they happen. And then, obviously, there's going to be the final fight in One Punch Man.
Oh yeah, One Punch Man's had some good fights too. But
The
I like
final
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Saitama versus the final villain. That's going to win it, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I like about the Perona fight and the Usopp fight is that it's a combination of like a fun fight and like a funny fight, and that makes it good.
It is. It's the best Usopp fight.
Yeah, somebody was like, the thread was questioning the physics of that explosive ghost, like able to like chomp on someone yet simultaneously let everything else like able to pierce through and such.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that until they mentioned it, and I'm like, I guess that's true.
Also, who cares?
Yeah.
I agree. I wish they would have. It would have been nice if they had just somehow like thrown out a little like explanation, but it's not necessary, I guess.
How does that, as far as the ghost fruit, ever explained or?
The hollow fruit. Yeah, it's there's not a whole lot of explaining to it. Yeah, I don't think they explain more about it. I mean, I think we've seen pretty much the extent of the powers, although I don't want to say too much, but there's a little bit something different later, but like it's not really. It's pretty much that's it. It's basically she has her ability to astral project. She has the ability to produce hollows. She can produce the mini hollows, and then the whatever she called the big one, kamikaze or whatever. And yeah, that's about it.
It's actually surprisingly, versatile.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the person who said that she ought to have been on the Straw Hats crew because it'd make for fun fights in the future. But I don't really think she's Straw Hat material personally.
Some people really actually did think that.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
But like she doesn't. They would have had to give her like a tragic backstory for that to work.
Yeah. So.
Did you guys see the Fanta commercial that Seda posted in the thread?
I saw the picture. It might be spoilerish.
What is it?
He posted a tweet to a One Piece Fanta commercial.
Oh yeah, I've seen that commercial. Yeah.
And I think was it Raxus that says the spoilers that is the One Piece.
Fanta is the One Piece.
We did it, guys! We finally got to Raftel, and here's the treasure. Fanta, don't you want the Fanta? And it's like, well, this is disappointing.
It's been a lead on to a largest paid advertising scheme ever.
You mean, bigger than fuck. That's our show, I think. Yeah. Right?
I suppose.
Somebody give me validation here. I need validation.
You could talk about Parasyte if you really want to.
Fuck Parasyte.
Well, next episode though, we get sexy time.
Oh yeah. Yep, that happened.
So right in the episode title.
More sex after murder.
Oh yeah. That's a trend now, I guess. But now Parasyte was just basically a bunch of stupid cops who wanted to kill innocent people in order to kill parasites, and I guess humans are the real monsters, but actually it's just those guys. They're just dicks.
Yep. Oh, that's it.
I actually just want to say that I think I can now conclude that Parasyte seems very influential for Japanese entertainment visually only, because knowing the story now, it's like, that's definitely not the one thing that seems anybody remembers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like every adaptation, it's always like starts out with the same visual moment of that parasite chopping off the head of the wife or spouse or whatever. It seems like very iconic enough for it to keep adapting over, no matter which adaptation is conjured up.
Did Parasyte come before Berserk or after it?
They may have started at roughly the same time. Because I know Berserk is from the 80s.
That makes sense. I just remember that Parasyte was really old as well.
Like, Berserk, you forget how old it is because it's had so many hiatuses and gone on for so long, and it's still managed to be really popular.
Berserk and the Band of the Hawk seems like a very English title. That's the only explanation, unless there's some other character named Berserk that I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
is weird. I guess.
Well, more mouse suit for everyone, I suppose.
It's like Berserk. The Berserk Muso is going to be like, oh man, it's invasion of rape horses.
Rape Horse
Go across the
Commander.
battlefield and kill all the rape horses.
Would that mean a playable rape horse?
Yes.
I don't want to know what its special would be.
Well, it's time to go. That's it's time to end on that. That's the note you want to end on. So, thank you, B-Boy20.
No problem.
Yeah.
Grex.
Hi.
Oh, time loop, huh?
Yeah.
From Space Dandy?
Yep. I want to die.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reggie.
Glad to be here.
And once again, thank you, ckohler.
No problem.
We'll see you next week for episode 25. Bye, everybody.
Bye.